everybody, it's Chainsaw Reacts. It's Scooby-Doo Tuesday, guys. You know what that means? Of course it means we're here continuing the journey of Scooby-Doo Mystery Incorporated. This is Season 2, Episode 17. This is a very interesting title, The Horrible Herd. Now, no idea what that's referring to. I'm guessing there's a herd of something, and it's horrible. That's my only guess based on that title. I'm like, that's a weird title, but okay. The Horrible Herd. So last week's episode was pretty interesting. Mainly episode before, though, in terms of the ghost mummy friar situation in regards to what really happened to Crystal Cove all those years ago, the disc pieces, and the fact that the donkey, a part of the mystery group back then, was the one to basically take down part of the town. Insane stuff. But last week's episode was dealing with the sheriff believing he was being abducted by aliens throughout his life, but it turns out he had bad oysters or bad clams or something, so he was hallucinating stuff. I don't know, and it was this father, son, daughter trio that were robbing stuff, and it was like kind of meshing all together. It was a really weird episode. It was also kind of funny because the sheriff's like freaking out over being mind controlled or being, invaded or whatever. It's a whole thing. But the main thing was at the end of the episode, I think Judy and Brad, the names of Fred's parents, they burned down, destroyed their kind of little hideout that Mystery Inc. had. Now, they're obviously the ones who did it. We saw them on the rooftop. I don't think they got the disc pieces because I think they would have showed that scene, unless they're making us wait till this episode to show that they did get them. But my guess is if they're not in their kind of Mystery Inc. room or whatever, their like little area, if they're not there, the disc pieces are not there too. Because we've seen the disc pieces, of course, as Velma has made some sort of device that kind of basically, like, it's kind of weird. It's like reading the disc pieces essentially, like it's reading like a disc player or reading like a vinyl, and it's saying Nibiru and all that kind of stuff. But my guessing is if they're not in the room, that the disc pieces are not there just waiting, like they have them somewhere safe. So I don't know. We'll find out. So I'm ready to get the episode, guys. Let's get into it and see whatever the horrible herd is. Let's get into it. Our office!
Don't you shush me.
Oh, Jesus. Horrible herd. There you go. Roll credits. What the hell is going on?
I don't understand. The planispheric disc.
Oh, yeah, the pistol.
This crazy old flintlock.
Here's your cheese platter of the forever undead.
Cheese platter.
That's all we had left. Another of the local farms has been mysteriously destroyed.
Farmer. Dog.
Dog.
Any innocent animals lately? What happened to your farm?
Well,
Fine.
cattle,
No
skulls,
farm. It's gone.
farmer's barrel, and
So
crackerness.
this herd of
What?
skull cattle also destroyed your farms? I once had luminescent swamp moss stuffed in my ears when I was trapping toads as a baby, but it came out
Okay.
eventually.
They devoured everything in their path.
But here. I reckon she's right.
Speak for yourself. It's sweet cheese horrific.
Oh, God.
The ground started to shake.
My God, they're fast. Oh my God. It's like they're kind of like skull cattle, but like bees because of the markings and the, I don't know. How are they going to explain this? Like, whoever's behind this.
They create an outline of a magnifying glass, just like the one the old Mystery Incorporated used as their symbol. It's centered around Destroido.
This macabre herd of skull cattle you've created is costing
course.
billions of Destroido's money.
One cannot make a genius omelet without breaking a few worthless eggs.
Ricky.
I will break any egg that gets in my way. Ed Machine, Cassidy Williams, or perhaps even you. My precious creations exist for one purpose: to devour Crystal Cove.
I just learned how to make a sombrero out of bacon. Is that a bacon sombrero?
Yes, it is. He's more excited about that.
Claws off the maple cured headgear, talking dog.
A herd of skull cattle are eating the town.
Mm-hmm. Okay,
I've
fine.
been wrong about these things before.
That's, oh no. My God, I didn't expect it to go this crazy. That is just crazy.
Soon, Crystal
Soon.
Cove will cease to exist.
Oh no, not his coffee shop.
It's evolution, people.
It's
We should all
evolution.
submit
Oh
to
my
the
god.
I'll see if they're hiring any sheriffs.
Especially the fact that Professor Pericles referred to all the skull cattle as male drones. And then there's the sweet cheese.
I think I see where you're going.
The herd is all male drones, so there must be a queen in the cowhive at
Yes.
Destroido.
Daphne,
Exactly.
My fake father, Mayor Dad, used
My
to keep a
fake father.
helicopter here at City Hall.
Oh.
Still have it. Quick, it's our only chance. I flew Blackhawks during my time in the Air Force.
Oh.
Mind if I play?
Cool. Oh, we gotta kiss right now while this is going on? Okay.
You cut it out. The Kinder do not have the planispheric disc with them. They have hidden it somewhere below.
Oh, okay. Yeah, where do they hide though?
Now, go, go, go!
Go, 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 go! Let's go, let's go, let's go! Does she need to go with him though? I don't think she needs to be there. There you go. Like Ghostbusters, kinda. This episode has just gotten so weird. That's gotta be the queen, I'm guessing. Holy shit. Just going down the line. They're gonna break some eggs. I think she's breaking eggs by doing all that. She's definitely bigger than I think the males. Ooh.
We got her. Lift her up there.
Go, go, go. This changes the whole entire show. I mean, you're destroying the whole fucking town.
They are ruining my genius plan.
There was a fault in your plan.
Launch the missile.
Really? What did that cost?
Jesus.
Incoming.
Oh my god.
Velma, hang on.
Oh my god. Ooh. Damn, it's gonna explode, isn't it? Yep, of course.
You saved the town. I feel a little sorry for those skull cattle. It's not their fault they're horrible genetically engineered.
Yeah, it really wasn't their
mutations.
fault. Oh no. Now they're going. Oh god.
Oh, what have we done?
Just walk away.
Oh damn.
Ruined by those meddling Kinder.
Meddling.
Will pay.
If you would have told me that the horrible herd in this episode was these genetically modified, like, skull cattle creatures that had piranha DNA and bee DNA, which I accidentally assumed based off, like, the design and kind of the shape or whatever of the cows, like, it looks like they're kind of like bees too, and it turns out they are a mixture of, like, these skull cattle bee piranha things. If you would have told me that was the horrible herd before I watched the episode, I'm like, what? And then realizing it's Professor Pericles, of course, is the one behind it. Of course he is. Of course. What I was actually more surprised about, well, not really, because, like, I think the whole concept of this whole, like, these new creatures that are basically on top of the food chain, destroying Crystal Cove, which was bonkers. And I think it changes the whole show moving forward, because the whole town pretty much was destroyed. Like, from what we were seeing, just countless buildings and even the sign to Crystal Cove completely destroyed, just eating everything these creatures were. Like, it's kind of hard. Like, are they skull cattle? Like, I don't know what they're exactly called, but these creatures, right? What was really surprising, too, is that Mr. E was actually going against Professor Pericles a little bit, because they're using his money from Destroido to fund all this craziness that they're trying to get the planispheric disc and everything. And I was right. Brad and Judy destroying Mystery Inc.'s, like, little, I wouldn't say, home or whatever, but they're kind of little, get together, like their room, the place they go to now, which it's a new thing now. They haven't been doing this, like, for a long time. They just kind of going wherever or in the mystery machine. But they didn't get the disc pieces. So I was right. They didn't get the disc pieces. They were hidden somewhere. So we don't know where they hid them. Mr. Inc., of course, knows where they are, but they didn't get them when they destroyed their area, so that's good. But Mr. E was actually against this. He's like, you're spending so much money. And then on top of that, there was a missile that Brad fired, kind of like a rocket. And Mr. E said, wait, how much did that cost? Because he was already mad about the whole concept of creating these modified genetic creatures that were cattle, piranha, and bee. Like, it's weird as hell. Like, just the whole thing is just strange. But Mr. E was actually upset. Professor Pericles is pretty much showing how he's the leader of this whole thing. Brad and Judy are just kind of going along with it because I don't think they care about all the shit that's happening, because I don't think they care too much about Crystal Cove or what's the money, because they're not the ones spending the money. It's Mr. E's money. Professor Pericles, he's controlling the whole thing, because he made a point to say, it's my evil plan. They thwarted my evil plan. Those meddling, he said meddling something, but he didn't say meddling kids, but he was like really angry. They're gonna pay. Because they found a fault, a fault, if you will, in the plan, because I guess Professor Pericles didn't think, oh, they could take the queen. They could somehow take the queen out from Destroido and take it away. The problem is, for them to take the queen away, they dropped her in the ocean, and they're all part piranha. Now, piranhas are not saltwater fish. I don't think there's a species or a subspecies of piranha that is. I don't think so. Maybe they can swim in salt water. I'm not 100% sure. I'm pretty sure they're freshwater fish. But anyways, it doesn't matter because they're part fish, and now they're all in the ecosystem. Like now there were bits and pieces of the herd spreading out in the water at the end. That's not good. And the sheriff is like, it's one of those ones where you back away slowly. Back away slowly. So that was funny. I think her name's Nova. Scooby's little girlfriend, of course, Brad and Judy's dog, who they took because Mr. Ink is like, well, we're taking the dog too, because because the whole thing with Fred's parents not actually being there for their son and all that kind of stuff. They care about the disc pieces and the treasure more than their own son. It's pretty sad that they're that obsessed with it, that they don't care about their own son. They don't want to have a connection with him. There's not even a point where Brad and Judy are even questioning what they're doing or whatever. Like, they just don't care. And I get it, because they were separated from their son, but what happened of them losing Fred is pretty tragic. You would think that they would actually want to have a relationship with Fred, but they really don't care. It's unfortunate. It sucks for Fred. But Nova, Scooby's girlfriend, which, by the way, that little date thing they had where they were serving food or whatever, of course it ties in because that, I think it's called the Bloody Steak or whatever, it was destroyed too. But that little restaurant, we've seen there a couple times, but the opening of the episode with the horrible herd taking out that farm, which of course ties in because Scooby was at that farm at the opening of season 2, when not everybody, but most people were kind of spread out and not in Crystal Cove, or at least not in the town per se. But his farm was destroyed, and it ties in because when they're actually at the restaurant and they're basically serving apparently the garbage of other restaurants' food because they don't have shipments anymore because local farms are being attacked by the horrible herd and they're mysteriously being destroyed. So that was a way to tie into the ecosystem of Crystal Cove and that particular restaurant, because if the farms are being destroyed and they can't produce the food and everything for the restaurants to buy local crops, they can't make their food. So it's kind of an interesting thing how they threw a little bit of the real world in terms of like what actually happens in the real world when certain things are not accomplished in terms of farms not producing the food because they're getting destroyed. Restaurants can't make food. They probably have to go buy their food elsewhere and probably cost more money because it's not local. I don't know. So it was kind of interesting how they did that. But throughout the episode, Scooby was spending a lot of time with his woman, which makes sense because he loves her. He loves her. A little think about where she's eating food off the plate, and he's like, "Oh, I just love how you consume, or the way you consuming food." It's just a weird way to phrase that. But he clearly loves her. I don't think she understands him when he talks. Maybe she'd understand him if he spoke in bark, but when he's talking in English, it seems like she doesn't understand what he's saying. I don't know. But she fell out of the helicopter. I was surprised. I was like, are they actually going to kill her off? I didn't think so. But they were definitely hinting that this was going to be pretty bad. Of course, she's still alive, but she's in major pain. Professor Pericles made a little point that I noticed it, but it kind of went away until I stopped after the reaction was over, and I went back and listened to the part again. He had mentioned 2 names. The guy from season 1, who was kind of Mr. E's right-hand guy, who was kind of the one to help push along some of the storylines in terms of certain directions that the Mr. E needs to go on. But then he also mentioned Cassidy. And see, in season 1, it's really implied because you see like some you hear some shouting and freaking out. Professor Pericles is in his like home, and we don't see him again. I forget his name, but he said the name. But then he said Cassidy. You know, I thought that Cassidy was faking her death, or that, you know, she really didn't die. But now they've made it more apparent that, unless it's another misdirect, but Professor Pericles saying, I killed him and I got rid of her too. I got rid of both of them. So maybe she actually is gone. It's been several episodes, but I still, I don't know. Professor Pericles cannot be trusted. That's the thing too. He cannot be trusted. Overall, this was a really bizarre episode, but I had a good time with it. I don't know where we go from here, because literally the whole town was pretty much destroyed. I'm pretty sure not all of it was, but a lot of destruction, a lot of craziness, and to find out that, because I was wondering because I even said, how are they going to explain all of these creatures? Like, who created them? It makes the most sense as Professor Pericles, because I was starting to think a little bit, well, is it like a farmer who's trying to get revenge on other farmers, so he's sending out these robots or something? So I think of these robotic like creatures or whatever, because we've seen that before. We've seen like robots, you know, being used before, like the robot evil Scooby-Doo or whatever. But like, this is a different scale in terms of all these creatures and stuff, and they're destroying everything. But I'm thinking, is like a revenge story? No, it's actually further than that. It's actually revolving around the main plot line with Professor Pericles wanting to destroy everything to get those disc pieces, because they're hidden somewhere. He's like, I'm going to use these modified creatures to get the pieces. That's how far he was willing to go. It's crazy. So anyways, guys, that's the episode. I hope you guys enjoyed my reaction. This was a crazy episode of Scooby-Doo Mission Incorporated. I mean, the show keeps getting intense. It's getting more crazy, and I'm enjoying every bit. Even though this was really out there, but hey, this show has proven that even when it goes crazy out there, it's still really damn good. Hope you guys enjoyed the reaction. I'm curious to know your thoughts about the episode. Let me know in the comments below, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Talk to you guys soon. Peace out.